Just kidding. I'm at home recording my videos, so I usually try to do a screen behind me. That way it hopefully, doesn't show my house or kids running past. So today we're going to talk about QuickBooks, right? Because anyways, we are going to talk about some of the QuickBooks stuff that I think is important, the highlights that I want to make sure are available to this group, but also for our membership program. So these videos are actually going to be accessed in that group, in the membership that's going to be launching on 10/1. So I haven't really talked a whole lot about that. I'm going to do a whole video working through the different levels and the different types of membership that are going to be available as of October 1st. And so we're still going to be posting content on this group and making it available to people that want to continue to join and be a part of it. But the real thing that I'm really, really excited about is this launch. So stay tuned for details on that. And we are going to look at what happens after this point in the next few days, in the next week, really, for that. And then there's also going to be a workshop series as well, so stay tuned for more details on that, hopefully by Monday, right? I got a lot of work to do over the weekend to make sure that is all solidified and in place. But anyways, let's talk about QuickBooks, and let's talk about first the subscription types, because that's a question that I often get a lot of. What subscription should I purchase? What are the pros and cons between the ones that are available? So I'm going to just run through that real quick. We're going to make this a short video today, and then a little bit later, probably later today, there's how to do some of the basic stuff as well. And so if there's a topic or something that you're not sure of, or you want to kind of just go over in QuickBooks, put that in the comments and I will certainly make a video about it so that you can get the resources that you need to be able to utilize this system, because QuickBooks Online is a really great system to use for your business, and just kind of to keep things organized and in place, and even syncing with other things. It's a very robust system that is really beneficial in many different ways. So we're going to go over kind of a little bit of that. But first, today, we're going to just talk about the different types of subscriptions and what those features are offered. So I'm going to share my screen because we're going to actually look at QuickBooks online so that we can get like a real live view of what it actually is. So here is the website that you can go to for QuickBooks. It's quickbooks.intuit.com. And this is going to show you the different ways, the different options that are available. So the one thing that I'm going to start with is this option for what they say is free for freelancers or contractors. And I just wanted to point out a couple of things. This plan is great, and it's really cheap for the most part. It's great if all you ever plan to be is like a freelancer. So that by definition, or what I would say is the definition of what a freelancer is, it's just a single individual that works on projects or comes on for a brief moment of time with a company. So a lot of times freelancers are writers, they're artists, they're maybe consultants sometimes. So it's really just them. That's all that they do. They just do that project-based work typically, where they're just freelancing. Okay, and so like this is great because it helps you to track most of your expenses and your income, but it doesn't do anything as far as like really getting into like the numbers part of it for your business. And that's important when it comes to like when you have a growing business, like in you're branching or you're planning to grow, you're planning to have employees, you need to invoice your customers, you need to make sure you're able to pull the reports and that kind of thing. The self-employed plan is not for that. So the self-employed plan is really just for a single person operation. That's all that they're ever going to be. That's all they anticipate being, and they just need a system that's going to be easy for them to use to track their expenses and their income. and some of those tax things. And so self-employed is really great. You can see it here. It's actually bundled together with Intuit TurboTax. And so Intuit owns TurboTax, so a lot of things integrate with that when it comes to QuickBooks, which is another great thing, right? It makes it kind of easy and streamlined. So you have the option between these plans. This one with the live just means that you have like a CPA that's readily available for you on like a video kind of chat. So that's something new that they're kind of rolling out. So you do have that option to be able to do that. I believe when it comes to that, though, this is just in terms of like when it's tax time, then you have access to that CPA. And then when we have accounting for business, so this is kind of for that other sector of thing where this is going to be for people that have businesses, they're looking to, you know, grow their businesses and they're looking to continue their businesses, et cetera, et cetera. So the first plan is the Simple Start plan. And this one, it's like what it sounds like. It's simple, right? We can actually, okay, let me click on this. Think should or should not. Come on. It got stuck on me. Okay. So for smaller businesses or mid-sized businesses, really it's the same kind of thing. This is a Simple Start plan. Yeah, I do not like how this has set up. Make that even smaller. Okay, so we have, you know, with the Simple Start, you can only have one user. It just has a basic fee that's different. That used to not be something that was available for the Simple Start. Track sales, you can do estimates. You can't manage your bills or track time or projects or inventory. So those are some things to consider if you do need to do that. The Simple Start is good if it's just really going to be you. I believe you can still add an accountant with the Simple Start, but you wouldn't be able to add any other people to it. Now, I do want to say that, like, if you have a family member or an assistant or something like that that is going to be working in your QuickBooks, you need to make sure you have another user for them. I had a client several years ago that started with us, but her previous accountant was using the same login that she was using, and she was actually embezzling money from her. So when they went to small claims court, like, it was this whole thing. She had to prove that she wasn't even around at that time because there wasn't any other way to do it. QuickBooks has this great feature. It's called an audit trail. So like it shows when a user is working and what they're working on and what transactions, you know, they create or delete or whatever it is. It's an audit trail. It shows all the movements, right? But it only is helpful if you have separate users for those people that are working in your QuickBooks. So you want to make sure that whoever's working in your QuickBooks, whether it's an accountant or a family member or an office person or, you know, bookkeeper, an in-house bookkeeper, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that they have their own user. And it's not worth that $8 difference or, you know, $20 difference, $15 difference that it's going to be to not have that user set up. So if you're going to have somebody set up, automatically choose at a minimum the Essentials plan. Okay, so that was my soapbox. Okay, so the Essentials includes everything, but then it also does bills, and it tracks time, and then the Plus allows you to do bills, track time, track projects, track inventory, and the things that aren't listed here. One other thing that the Plus allows you to do is track by class codes. And so class codes is something that you can utilize to be able to differentiate between different departments, different locations, different whatever it may be, like how you're tracking it, different grants. If you have grants that you need to be tracking separately, class codes are often used for nonprofits as well because they got to track things by administration, fundraising, and operations. They have to track all their expenses by those 3 different categories. So a lot of times class codes are used for that as well. So you want to make sure that if you need those kind of things, then you are choosing the Plus plan. It also allows you to put a budget in. So we talked about budgeting on one of the other videos, and you being able to use that function in QuickBooks, you got to have the Plus subscription. So that's kind of where this comes in. One really exciting thing is that we're going to be offering discounted QuickBooks subscriptions through our membership program. So that might be something if you're interested in being able to do that. And then instead of this price, you know, jumping up after 3 months, it's going to stay relatively around this point. So we charge $25 and $40 for our plans. And so that it would be an option for you to utilize if that was something that you wanted to do. So anyways, these are the major differences between this. So Plus, you're going to want to choose this if you want to have that budgeting function in there, if you want to be able to track by class codes, if you want to be able to track projects and inventory, you want to make sure you're choosing Plus. But for the most part, if you're just a business that's starting out and it's just going to be you and maybe your accountant, and that's it, that's going to be using QuickBooks, you can certainly do the Simple Start Plan. Now, the Simple Start Plan is not something that I can offer, so it would be only the Essentials or the Plus or the Advanced plans. But that is an option for you to be able to utilize, you know, for whatever, the rest of the time that you need to use QuickBooks, you're able to do them. If you have QuickBooks Desktop, you can upload or move it to QuickBooks Online. That's a fairly easy process to do. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can feel free to certainly let me know about that and we can help with that. You can also do it vice versa. So if you decide to move to QuickBooks or you start in QuickBooks and you're like, I don't like this, you can always choose to move back to desktop as well. So those things are some options right there. And this is pretty much all that I wanted to get into because I wanted to keep this video short, but those are some of the differences between the plans. If you have any questions, drop your questions, you know, in the box or chat box or whatever it is, and I will be sure to answer them. And we will talk about income and expense recording next time. Thanks. Bye.